What is up, Coach Emma here, and welcome back to the Fit Habit Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. And on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how you're not overtraining, you're under-recovering. But before we dig in, thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed the show, if you could rate the show, share the show, or subscribe to the podcast, that just helps me get in front of more people, which helps me help more people, which is the goal of this show. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this because it's something that I have kind of shifted my perspective on a little bit. When I was a Division I athlete, I would work out for 4+ hours a day. I'd walk probably 15,000+ steps a day because I'd walk from my off-campus house to class, back to the house to eat all the food I was eating, back to class, back to the house to eat more food, back to practice, and back and forth and back and forth. I was moving a lot. I was also eating close to 4,000+ calories a day. I played water polo. So that is probably one of the most physically demanding sports, not because other sports aren't hard, but you have to keep yourself afloat the entire time. If you haven't ever watched water polo, check it out. I still cannot believe what I was capable of doing beforehand. But I used to literally, you tread water the entire time with just your legs. Your legs are keeping you afloat. Maybe that front hand to a little bit, for those of you listening, I was mimicking, I was holding the ball and faking the ball. Anyway, I miss water polo. I have a water polo ball on my couch over there. And I was in college. I was in a computer engineering degree. So I had labs. I had a lot of homework. I had a lot of outside projects. I had 4 hours of practice a day. I was walking to and from my house. I would pack meals and foods and snacks to take with me to class. It was meal prepping was like a full-time job. But I slept. I had a bedtime and a wake time. I would sleep my 7 hours every day. In bed by 10, up at 5 to 5:30 for my training sessions. And when I didn't have the weight training sessions, I would do homework. And so I'd eat my big old bowl of oatmeal while I was doing homework, catching up on projects or whatever. And then I'd go to class and do the things and drink a lot of coffee. I drank a lot of coffee. I was 21, so that helps, but I was my body wasn't super sore. It's I was sleeping. The only stress I had was school. I didn't have to worry about making money, taking care of anybody else. I don't think I paid attention to news or politics or anything, which helps. That can be a stressor in and of itself. It's focusing on things you can't affect that are negative and sad and stressful. That kind of sucks. But, so literally working out, eating, schoolwork, practice were my only jobs. And I didn't have to worry about anybody else. I was dating my now husband at the time, but it was he knew what my priorities were at the time. And so he would come to my apartment and we would do homework. Or it was a little house. We would do homework after practice. So anyway, I could handle all of that. I didn't have extra stressors on my plate. I wasn't moldy. Honestly, I might have been. I don't know. Some of the roommates I had were kind of gross. There could have been mold in the house. But to my knowledge, I was not moldy. I also didn't drink a lot my senior year. There were a couple occasions, but for the most part, I was school, training, food, sleep, and dating my husband. I could handle that much intense physical activity because I was recovering well, all things considered. I was more resilient at 21 than I am now at 28. That's for sure. But actually, I'm really curious to see when I'm not moldy and I'm less stressed and I'm fueling my body, what my body can do really excited about the Ragnar thing I signed up for. I was actually really kind of like, oh crap, what did I just do when I signed up? But I'm kind of excited for it now to see what my body can do when I'm fueling it properly. And that's what I mean. It's like a lot of adults, and I coach, I think I have like 42 clients right now, all of varying age ranges and stuff. But my clients, a lot of them do not sleep enough. They're overly stressed with work, kids, relationships, life stressors. Most of them are trying to change their body composition. So a lot of them have been chronically under eating or under fueling for a long time, just not giving their body the nutrients it needs to thrive or perform well. So for them, they could not handle the intensity that I could as an athlete back in the day, 7 years ago, because they're not able to recover properly to where their body could recover from that exercise, because their diet isn't conducive to that, their lifestyle isn't conducive to that, and their sleep habits and stress management is not going to create an environment where their body will recover. And so that's what I mean. Like, most people aren't overtraining. They're really under recovering. They're not setting their body up for success for a season, or not a season, but to adapt from the training they're doing. And what a lot of people will do when they're trying to change their body composition is they'll do more and more and more physical activity, but they'll neglect sleep and nutrition and fueling their training. So that's honestly why I think there's a lot of fitness content out there that's like, you're overtraining. And it's like, I don't think people are overtraining. They're just not recovering properly. They might have some type of stealth infection like mold toxicity. Like, since starting the protocol 2 weeks ago, my cycle is back. I lost my menstrual cycle and it's back. I'm like, cool. My cycle is back. I'm training probably not 2x. I'm training a lot more than I did a couple weeks ago. I'm eating more. Actually, for those of you who listened to the Ragnar episode, last week's calories were actually closer to 2,700 calories a day. So that's like 300 more calories a day that I already started eating. And my weight dropped. It went up because when I start my cycle, my weight goes up because water retention, fun stuff of being a woman, and then it dropped back down to what it was before. Because my body is more resilient, because it has less toxins to detox, I'm sleeping. And this week's sleep wasn't super great until last night. Last night I slept like a baby. I'm sleeping more and better. I'm managing my stress better and setting up myself for success with my schedule, with setting boundaries, not signing up for too many things, and fueling. I ate almost 200 grams of carbs on the hike yesterday. And then I got home and I ate way more. I had another probably close to 200 grams of carbs, because I probably had 75-ish or so grams in the morning. But my point here is, you're probably not overtraining. You're just not setting your body up for success, because you're not giving it the fuel that it needs. You're not giving it the rest and recovery that it needs, because muscle is not built in the gym. Muscle is built when you're resting, when you're sleeping, when you're recovering, when you're fueling your body. That's when muscle is built. That's when fat is lost. There are studies shown, and I am not a study person, but I have looked at them. I have actually looked at these studies. And there are studies where a group is sleep deprived and another group gets good quality sleep, and they're in the same deficit. So they're eating reduced caloric intake, both groups, to the same degree. The group that is sleep deprived loses more muscle mass and less body fat, and the group that is not sleep deprived loses less muscle mass and more body fat, because their bodies feel safer. So You're probably not under overtraining. You're probably under recovering unless you're training 4+ hours a day. So keep that in mind. Maybe start to focus on, like, how can I create a better environment for my body to adapt? And this is a really hard thing to sell clients on. We're going to start to eat more carbs. What? Huh? We're going to focus on sleep. Why? I'm trying to lose fat. We're going to focus on stress management techniques. Why? Because that's going to help you better stick to the plan, because when you're overly stressed, you overeat and you overindulge. And when you're sleep deprived, you can still lose weight and still lose body fat, but the process is going to be a hell of a lot easier if you're getting good quality sleep, because you won't have as many cravings, you won't feel as inflamed or bloated, you'll have more energy to push in your training, your body will recover better from the training, so you won't be sore, so you'll feel better too. And your potential for injury is a lot less. That's the cool thing too about eating more. I would not have signed up for any race if I was in a fat loss phase. I am not in a fat loss phase. So I can eat as much as I need. So, and that's the other thing. Most people have never actually tried to build muscle. This is something I talk about a lot. But when you do, you focus on building muscle and fueling your body and pushing performance. That's going to help your metabolic rate. It's going to help your physique. It's going to help your body feel more recovered. And it's going to set you up for a more successful fat loss phase in the future. So, hopefully what you got out of this episode, prioritize sleep, stress management, and nutrition. Optimize those. You will recover better. You will be able to push your training more if you like. You don't have to. You don't have to do more to do things. But if you'd like to, and your body composition will probably improve once you focus on recovery and you focus on fueling your body better and your training better. So hopefully this episode was helpful. It was kind of a weird one, but something I hear a lot online, and I just don't think that's necessarily the reality. So just wanted to give a different perspective. But anyway, if this is something like you need help focusing on, you're like, I'm not sure how to do that, or I want help doing that, just reach out. I'd be glad to help. And if this was help enough for you to do the thing, then go do the thing and let me know how that goes. But anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.